Hey everybody, so I'm not exactly sure what I just watched. Um, so normally I would do this scripted. The last two videos have been scripted, but just through the sheer oddness of it, I'm going to do this kind of unscripted. This is Ghibli Month, episode 3, Earwig and the Witch. So, this is a movie that has its problems. It has a lot of problems that I consider to be kind of big problems. But one thing to keep in note, this is not just a Ghibli film. Ghibli worked with NHK as well to bring us this movie. So you can't lay everything at Ghibli's feet. But since this is Ghibli month, it is still a Ghibli film. And as such, I will grade it as such. And as a Ghibli film, it just doesn't hold up to all the rest. So, to give it a basic sense, a young girl is orphaned. Turns out her name is Erica, and she is a witch. She gets adopted by a witch and a mandrake, and she learns magic and lives in this new life. Kind of standard fare, and if I were to go more, it would go into spoilers. So the characters are the smallest issue that I have, and basically the only issue I have is the character of the adopted mother. That's really the only issue, and once you see her, you'll get it, and then towards the end she does get better, but I digress. So I am going to actually start with the really bad critiques with a good critique. The one thing that this movie has over all the other Ghibli films, with one or two maybe exceptions, the animation is better than almost every other Ghibli film. The animation is top notch. It looks like something that would come out today, which is amazing because it came out some time ago, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure. Okay, I was wrong after doing some research. This came out last year. That makes no sense. Ghibli closed its stores some years back, and this is a 2020 film. And it's funny you should mention that. So normally, as you know, most of the Ghibli films are done by one Hayao Miyazaki, the man, the myth, the legend. This was done by Goro Miyazaki. So I'm not exactly sure if that's his son or his brother. I'm pretty sure it's his son, but I could be wrong. So that's who did this. Now, bringing that up, now I have to bring up the many flaws, and there are quite a few flaws that I have with this movie. Number one, the lip syncing, terrible, absolutely terrible. The lip syncing in this was non-existent whatsoever. And if you watch anime with a dub, because that's the only thing you can find available, we'll get to that here in a minute. Then you're just left with just knowing that you hear the voices of the characters, but they don't match the lips. I feel like I'm watching an old Popeye animation. Another thing I have is the design of the hair. The hair doesn't look like hair. It reminds me of the hair from like Shikyu, where it's all gunked up and ugh. And the biggest issue I have is the story. So, without giving it away, the ending did not leave me satisfied. The ending felt to me like a sequel opportunity. And if that's what it was, fine, good, all good. I just don't care for those. So, overall, would I recommend this? No. Not unless you're a diehard Ghibli fan, like I am. You have to be a diehard Ghibli fan to get this, and I have seen Ghibli since I was a kid. I don't understand this whatsoever. I don't get it. The story feels tacked on, and the ending sucks. my opinion. Maybe you guys will like it, and if that works for you, more power to you. It didn't work for me at the time of this recording. You can find Earwig and the Witch on HBO Max if you have that available to you. As far as alternative anime recommendations, I can only give you two that are kind of predictable. So the first one is anything else from the Ghibli lineup. Literally anything else would do you perfect. You want where Earwig and the Witch had animation, all the rest of the Ghibli films have stories, good character development, understandable and relatable situations. Go watch those. And the only other one I can recommend is one that came out a few years ago that is like a Ghibli film, but not. Straight from Studio Panak, I give you Mary and the Witch's Flower. A much better spin on witches than what I think they did here. So, thank you guys for watching. This has been the third episode, and I will see you guys in the next Ghibli review. Later.